Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to welcome to the interview room for the final time, two-time Masters champion Bernhard Langer. The boy from Bavaria. Bernhard, I think on behalf of all of us, we would say that you personify professionalism and class on the golf tour, and it's a great honour to have you as a two-time champion at the Masters. Could you share some of the emotion that you have experienced the last 2 days as you wandered around the course, in particular the drama on the 18th hole?
Yeah, it was very special last 2 days for me. Even starting off, just walking to the first tee yesterday, got a standing ovation, and the people really, applauded, and I almost teared up and almost started crying just right there. And I said, "Come on, get it together. You got some golf to play." And it kind of kept going. There were lots of standing ovations throughout the golf course in various spots. And then, today coming up 18, it was kind of a mixed emotions because I was still inside the cut line. And even when I made bogey, I wasn't sure I'm totally out of there or not, because I actually thought 3 over would make the cut. As windy as it was today, I thought it was harder than yesterday. But it doesn't look that way. So there were lots of emotions flooding through my mind the last 2 days as I was walking the fairways. I saw my wife, I saw my 4 kids, saw 2 of my grandkids came out and supported me, and friends from Germany and family from Germany, and just even friends from all over the world literally were walking a few holes with me, and it meant a great deal. I have so many wonderful memories of playing this golf course. I fell in love with it immediately when I played my first round here, and was fortunate to win twice and come back here for many, many years. Very special.
Thank you. And
then I had my son on the back, sorry, as well. Our youngest son, we won the PNC father-son tournament 4 times together, and when I said this is going to be my last Masters, I asked him if he would caddy for me, and he immediately said yes, and that was another bonus. Sorry.
We'll start with you.
Bernhard, could you ever have imagined, I'm over here,
Sorry.
as a young boy earning a few coins as a caddy in Germany, that you would go on to play in 41 Masters?
No, I had no clue. I was literally, I had no idea, period. I mean, it just, golf was nothing in Germany, and when I became an assistant pro just to teach golf and help others to improve their game, I thought that was gonna be my life. And then I became a fairly good player during those 3.5 years, and I thought, well, maybe I should try the European Tour for a couple of years and see if I can make a living playing golf, because it's probably more fun than teaching golf on the driving range for 8 hours a day. And well, we know the rest, right? But I had no clue I would ever play in America and end up living in America and marrying an American, raise my kids here, and then, win the greatest tournament in the world, and on and on. It's truly a fairy tale.
Felix? No question. John?
Bernhard, how complicated was this round? The emotion, the competitiveness? Were you in control of the round, or was the round in control of you?
I was trying to be in control of the round, but the wind didn't play with me. Actually hit a beautiful wedge into 15 and to the middle of the green, and it spun all the way back in the water, and I made 7. I hit a perfect golf shot, literally, and I made 7, which is very annoying. And otherwise, I'd be here this weekend. But that's how golf sometimes is. It can be the greatest game, and sometimes it can be very brutal. And it's a very fine line of hitting a great shot or ending up in a terrible place.
Nick?
Bernhard, how do you think the patrons will remember you here?
That's a good question. I mean, the patrons, I think, have gotten to know me more and more as I've started playing more and more in America. Because when I first got here, they had no clue who I was. And, it was more about the Americans in those days, because I remember when only one European was invited here. You had to win the money list to get into the tournament. And that all changed when we started the world rankings. And then it opened up to more players around the world. And anyways, how will they remember me? Hopefully, as a good golfer, but hopefully also a man of faith and a man of family, and somebody that treated people well and was a good role model.
Sylvia.
Yes, Bernhard, in a recent interview we had, you said that you missed 30 to 60 meters from many of the players here, and so you cannot be competitive. But if I look at the leaderboard today, I see many long hitters that are well behind you. So what's your comment on that?
Well, the comment is, I've always said, I love the game of golf, but I love to compete. I'm a competitor, and I want to be in the heat. I want to be on the leaderboard. I want to have a chance to win. And on this golf course, I don't feel I can win anymore. I can maybe make the cut if I play really good, which I did play really good today, and just didn't get rewarded because of what I just told you. But I'm hitting such long clubs into these greens where I can't stop the ball where I need to stop it. It's a golf course designed to be hit with medium to short irons. The greens are so severe. And I played really smart today, where I missed it always in the right place, where I had a chance to get it up and down, except on 15. But I had to go for the shot. You can't say I'm going to fly it over the green and play for 6. That's just not in my DNA when I have a sandwich in my hand.
What did you play on the 18 second shot?
That was a very good drive, and then a 3 hybrid. And the wind was left to right, so I aimed a little left, thinking the wind will push it, and it didn't. It went dead straight, and I missed the green, kick left, and didn't get up and down.
Peter.
Now in German. Können Sie noch mal das 18. Loch gedanklich nachgehen? Nicht nur also Schlag- und Schlägermäßig. Sie haben es zwar ein bisschen schon angesprochen, sondern auch, wie Sie sich bei jedem Schlag so gefühlt haben.
Ja, ich habe mich gut gefühlt, war ein bisschen sauer auf die 15, aber es war eigentlich nicht meine Schuld. Ich habe einen perfekten Wedge reingehauen und es hat zu viel Rückwärtsdrall mit dem Bögenwind und habe versucht, auf der 18 das Paar zu spielen, habe einen super Abschlag gemacht und dann hatte ich einen Eisen 3, Hybrid 3 ins Grün und der Wind war von links hinten, habe also links angehalten und der Wind hat den Ball nicht genommen, kam an der Kante vom Grün auf und ist nach links weggeschossen und dann war ich natürlich in einer sehr schwierigen Situation, habe den so auf 4 Meter hingebracht und dann eigentlich einen guten Putt gemacht, aber ging über die rechte Lochkante weg und ja, das war's dann. Emotionell war es schwierig, weil ich eben nicht genau wusste, ob der Cut jetzt bei 3 über ist oder bei 2 über oder ob ich noch im Turnier bin morgen oder nicht. Somit war es ganz seltsam, ist das jetzt der Abschied oder ist es nicht der Abschied? Und war ein bisschen komisch, aber im Endeffekt sieht es aus, als war es wohl die letzte Runde hier in Augusta.
Darf ich noch fragen, was haben Sie mit dem dritten Schlag gespielt? Wessen Schläger?
War ein Eisen 9, habe ich gechippt. Den Hang hoch und dann 2 Putts.
Todd.
Bernhard, 2 for you. One, when you have a week like this, and I realize what you just said about the length of the golf course and the clubs you're hitting in, but is there a tiny bit of you that now wants to get back out there and compete next year? And secondly, how gratifying was the birdie at 12? And can you talk a little bit about what you'll remember about 12?
Yeah, there were times the last couple of days when I thought, did you make the right decision here, or should you have waited another year or 2 with your last Masters, because I was playing quite well and very smart. But I think looking back, it is still the right decision, just for the reasons I shared a minute ago. It's just the golf course is too long for me. The 12th hole, yeah, I've had a bunch of birdies on that hole, but I also had 1 or 2 water balls and other things. So it's maybe the hardest short hole for that length in the world, especially when it's windy. And today I was fortunate to hit a perfect 8-iron, and I judged the wind pretty well, and knocked it right behind the flag and made the putt.
Felix.
Mr. Langer, congratulations on this truly amazing round today. But I wanted to ask, I imagine it to be quite stressful playing in the Masters. Did you really enjoy it today? Did you get the chance to look around and take in all this beauty and the scenery that the patrons created for you?
Absolutely, yes. I try to enjoy every day that I'm blessed with to live, but I made a special effort to enjoy my last couple of rounds around here. I didn't know how it's going to turn out, and I always appreciated the beauty of this golf course and the challenges you have to face pretty much on every shot, the support of the patrons, and so much more.
David.
Mr. Langer, the Champions Tour put out a video this week about you being the last major champion to win with a persimmon driver, and it seemed to engender a lot of nostalgia on social media among golf fans, and particularly the Last Supper driver that you showed off. What does that mean to you, and why do you think that resonated so much with people? Did you hear about it, or it just seemed to be everywhere?
I didn't see a whole lot of it. I haven't had time to follow the social media the last couple of days. There was too much else going on. But, I never mentioned to the public that this tournament actually was very instrumental in me becoming a Christian, in a sense, because I grew up Catholic and I thought I was a Christian, but I basically used Jesus Christ in a very bad way in my first interview in Butler Cabin. And then I went to my first Bible study in Hilton Head 3 days later, and learned that, you should be born again spiritually, and I had no idea what that meant. So then I bought my own Bible and started going to the Bible studies, and shortly after that, a couple of months later, I became a Christian and gave my life to Jesus. And then when I came back here, my second win 8 years later, I was a Christian, and I won on Easter Sunday, which was very emotional and very meaningful for me, because that's the one day we celebrate the resurrection of Jesus Christ from the dead, and that's what Christianity is all about. Because if that wouldn't have happened, there wouldn't be any Christianity. So this tournament was, more meaningful to me than most people know, even in a spiritual sense. And then you have Amen Corner here as well, so pretty cool.
Jamie.
I wondered on 15, I know you struck it perfectly, but if you had to do it over, would you club down, perhaps, and take spin off and hold the green that way? I don't know. No, okay.
I would do the very same thing again. So I thought I had the perfect club. I had, 86 yards, and I took a club that goes 10 further, and my sandwich, and I hit it crisply, and it landed where I wanted, because you don't want to land it on the back fringe and then take one hop and you go over. Now you're pitching downwind, near toward the water. I landed where I wanted to land it, and I just couldn't believe the ball had that much spin, because I'm hitting off a downhill lie, and I kind of flighted it in there. Didn't hit it up in the air where the wind would back shoot it and lands with a lot of spin and all that kind of stuff. And both, Will Zalatoris did the same thing just before me. He landed it a couple of yards shorter and spun it back. So I was aware of what could happen, and I thought I made sure I hit it hard enough and all that. And I felt like I did the right thing, but obviously I didn't.
Anything
No.
on 18 as far as, I know you were studying what club to hit for a little bit of a while. Any I don't know, thing you do over on 18?
Probably not. You know, I took the right club for the second shot. I was thinking maybe a 2 hybrid, make sure I clear that front bunker. But then I thought, well, the wind is helping from the left. A 3 should do it. And I think it was the right club. It just, the ball didn't move left to right. It went that straight and hit the bank and kicked left, which was even more unfortunate. I thought about putting it where I was, but there was quite a bit of long grass the first 4 or 5 yards. So I thought, well, you have a better chance getting up and down with a chip and run. So I was thinking 8 or 9 iron, took a 9 iron, and just came up a few feet shorter than I hoped.
Last question, Paul.
Bernhard, what do you anticipate missing the most about being in competition here?
Oh, just competing and walking the fairways and being out there, facing the challenges that this course represents. I mean, this is the best manicure golf course we play year in after, and out. And I just love being here and facing the decisions you face. There's, like I said, these greens are so severe. You got to hit it within a foot or two or a yard or two. And if you miss that spot, you're going to be in trouble. And, so as a competitor, I'm going to miss all that. On the other hand, I know I'm be hitting 3 woods and hybrids into greens that are meant to be hit with 8 irons. So I can't do it with those clubs.
We'll finish with you, Ingo.
Herr Langer, es gibt jetzt 2 Möglichkeiten, wie das Wochenende ausfällt. Entweder Sie spielen, vielleicht passiert es ja, hoffentlich noch. Wenn nicht, haben Sie da irgendwelche speziellen Pläne oder wie werden Sie es gestalten?
Yeah, can I answer in English or in German?
To you.
Okay. We're doing a documentary about my life. So it's a documentary story that will be aired in Germany in a few months. And this is the final part of it. We've done everything else. We've been at it for a year. So I imagine I'm going to have to sit down with them for another hour or 2 and talk about, this tournament and my farewell or my goodbye from being a competitor here, because the Masters is a big part of that documentary. And there'll be a few other questions as well. So that will be one thing. And then I have all my family here, so I'm going to spend time with my family and enjoy, still the tournament. We might come out and have lunch and maybe see. I'm sponsored by Rolex and by Mercedes, so I might visit them at their hospitality suite and say hello to a few people and things like that. But we're not going to be bored. It's going to be a good weekend either way.
Bernhard, thank you for 41 years of wonderful memories. We're very proud to have you as our champion, and we wish you all the best for the future.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you all. Thanks for all your support.